Okay, so it is July 29th, a little after 2 a.m. And excuse my, you know, looks right now because I just came back from the gym and also came back from Walmart and had a long day at work. So I just look a mess right now, but it's okay. I'm about to go to sleep after this video. Um, I'm doing this mainly for me, like as a video diary, and it might be a little bit too long if anybody uh, decides that they want to watch it. That's cool. If not, this is just more so of a way for me to document myself and my progress. Also, am I recording? Yes, I am. Also, it's just a way for me to keep up with things because obviously journaling isn't working for me. And uh, I mean, it works, but then I forget to do it. And so I actually got a planner today so I can at least remember to do this once a week. I think when I start to do things, like try to do things daily, I get quite overwhelmed and I can't keep up with myself. So this is just something for me personally. And I've started doing video diaries about a year ago, but again, I didn't keep up with them and it was just more so personal for me to like just have that to look back at. But I think I'm okay with actually going public now. So yeah, I'm doing this also because I need a way to keep up with myself. I need a way to look at myself. It's like almost looking at yourself in the mirror, tracking my progress because I am so bad at just like letting myself go, and I want to change. I am 28 years old. In about a year and a half, I'll be 30. And, you know, I'm not where I want to be in life. And of course, everybody has a different path. And not everything's perfect. No one is perfect. Some people work harder. Some things come to people a lot more naturally than others. And of course, I'm just kind of slow at picking up things. And of course, I could be in the worst situation. I have a roof over my head. I actually have a car. Lights are on, got water. I'm able to feed myself. Obviously, able to feed myself. But I want to work on me mentally and physically because I go in these. I mean, you're harassing me, but say hello. Say hello. You're harassing me, but whenever I come to pick you up, you don't want to be my friend. What's up with that? You just got a cat here all over me. Yay. But, yeah, what was I saying? I just noticed that, like, there are times that I do things out of impulse, and sometimes, most of the time, it's for the wrong reason, or I think it's for the right reason, and then, like, I end up, like, shifting my intentions and losing or forgetting the purpose of me starting certain things. Um, and I'm also a perfectionist, so if things don't go right the first way, I beat myself up constantly over and over again to the point that I don't want to do anything anymore. And I've learned that, you know, I love art and I want to do it for fun. I used to cosplay and draw, dress up, do makeup and everything for fun, and now it just feels like a chore, like something I have to do in order to please everyone. But I'm like, what about me? So that's why I kind of just took a break from things, because I've started this with the intention of wanting to make cosplay my career, and then all of a sudden I just became obsessed with numbers and likes and shares, follows, and it became too much for me. And that's not what cosplay is about, you know. It's not what I wanted it to be for me. I wanted to do something that I can see myself doing in the future. And what I love about cosplay is that, you know, it involves everything: drawing, crafting, sewing, because I love fashion. Um, you know, it involves everything that I love. But, you know, with social media and everything, it just kind of, you know, I just felt so much pressure to be perfect, and I'm still suffering with this mental illness, which I do plan on getting therapy once I'm able to afford it. But as of right now, this is my form of therapy, and something I'm gonna have to just do every week. Um, it's interesting because I went to Disney last weekend, and it was fun. I went to Disney and I went to Universal Studios, and it was pretty great. I went with my family, and it was, you know, a bittersweet thing because I love my family, but you know, they could kind of get on your nerves sometimes, and I haven't hung out with my parents and my brother like that in such a long time, and I forgot how much they argue, and I forgot how much uh, questions they ask, and most of the time it's like with good intentions, but it can get annoying. And so, you know, there were times I was just frustrated. I'm like, I want to go home. When I'm like, I am in one of the most magical places on this planet. What am I complaining about? You know, not many people get this opportunity. People want to go to Disney. And so, yeah. But while I was there, I was actually able to kind of take a look at myself, of where I stay at. There's a bunch of like the lighting is so dim in here, and then the mirror kind of just stops right here. And so I was actually exposed to a full length mirror, and I saw myself, and I'm like, what am I doing? You know, my skin looks terrible. My I'm not trying to tear myself apart, but I'm not taking care of myself like I need to. I still have an issue with alcohol. Um, you know, I need to get back on, you know, a routine with cleaning my face and everything, because like it's not that I don't wash myself or wash my body, but there are times that, you know, I will forget to clean my face off when I come home from work, and I just go straight to bed and go to sleep. And of course, like, I'm sleeping with makeup on, and I'm like, that's not good for my skin, and you can start to tell that it's starting to deteriorate it. I'm not keeping up with my water intake. I'm not keeping up with my vitamins. Uh, it's just the food I'm eating is terrible for me, and it's starting to show. It's been showing, but it's just really, really getting worse. Like, I keep fluctuating, and I'm like, what is it gonna take for me to stop my bad habits? You know, I know bad habits die really hard, but I wonder what it's going to really take for me to just quit all of that and just do it socially. Like if I go to an event, I could probably have a couple shots after, like when it's time to wind down, but not throughout the day. I just don't want to continue depending on drugs like alcohol and mainly alcohol, um, because that's the main culprit. Coffee, I kind of need it until I'm able to find like a supplement or something that can give me the same type of energy that coffee gives me. Um, I'm gonna have to just keep up with that. Forgot to add tea. It's still hot though, so I'm just gonna let it sit. uh, but you know, just being able to look at myself and see how much I really let myself go. And I know I'm not trying to be the same person I was when I was 21. I mean, yes, I had a lot of energy in me and I was so ambitious and I still am, but I just kind of feel defeated and it's showing, you know. I lost a lot of faith in myself and I'm trying to regain that because I know I can do it. Um, my parents and I don't really have a good history, but and there's always been this weird tension between my mom and I, but she always has a way of putting me in my place when I really, really need it. And, growing up, she could have done it a lot better, but, now that I'm grown, I thank her because she cared. She didn't want to see me going down a path, and she's warned me several times about a lot of things. And of course, you don't learn until you actually do it. But, stubborn me thought that I had control over everything, and I just don't like to hear the truth, especially about myself. So, um, but going back to my mom, it was funny because I needed to get a few things. And I was gonna walk there. It was like a 15-minute walk. But my mom said, why don't you just take the car? And we rented out this huge SUV and we're in Orlando, Florida, like the middle of Orlando, Florida. There's road work everywhere. And I'm just like, I get nervous when driving, especially a huge car, and I don't know where I'm going. So, in a different city on top of that. And so I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, you're crazy. I'm not going to do that. And she was like, well, one thing I really want y'all to get in your head is that you can do whatever you put your mind into. Like, quit telling yourself that you can't do it and you haven't tried. Did you, give it a try? And of course I didn't because, again, I know how I am with cars, especially massive big cars and driving in New City. It's a rental, so I'm not going to risk crashing it. But her saying that did resonate in my head, and I just kind of been repeating it over and over and over again for the past few weeks. And so I'm just gonna keep trying until I finally get there. I am 28. I feel like I should have certain things by now, but, at the same time, people just move at their own pace. And I'm still a baby, but at the same time, I'm still an adult. I'm still young, but, and I still have a lot of growing up to do. But I also, God, I got my cats here everywhere. I also need to start acting like I have priorities instead of wanting to lay in bed all day. And I know that's part of depression, just not being interested in anything, but I have to fight this, which is why I am doing these video logs, and every week, every Sunday, I'm going to record a video and just put it up. Um, it's just been a long time coming. These past 6 years have been really rough with this constant battle of depression. I mean, I've had depression for a while, but it really, really hit me once I started drinking more and just going back and forth, just back and forth, back and forth, not being able to keep jobs, not being able to stay consistent with my art, letting people treat me certain ways, and that's just another thing that has been keeping me down lately, is how I kind of let people take advantage of me when I normally don't take shit, but because I'm scared of upsetting people, I kind of let them hurt me, or, put my feelings aside so they don't have hurt feelings. And that's something that I need to really work on. I dim my light a lot for other people. I, put other people before me. And then next thing you know, I end up screwed in the end. I lower my standards way too much. Just so people can feel comfortable around me. And I've done that my whole entire life, and it's like getting worse, because it's just like, well, who am I? All this whole entire time I keep, dimming my light so other people can shine, but what about my, light? Who am I? What do I like to do? What's my personality like when I don't have to put my feelings aside, or put my talents aside, or put just, like, my physical health, my mental health, or anything aside for other people? Like, what kind of person am I? And that's something that I never really could figure out, because I learned from a young age that it wasn't okay to be me. And every time I kept saying bullshit, I'm just gonna do me, it just was like a backlash in my face. And I just, with family members, like even my own mom, peers at school, close friends, people that I have relationships with, romantic relationships, it's always like that. And I just guess I need to start surrounding myself with different type of people. If you don't like me, then, or if you're not okay with that, then with who I am and what I want to do and how I prefer to respect myself, or how I prefer to set my boundaries. Like, if you don't want to respect my boundaries, then, I don't need to associate with you. And I hate the idea of losing people, but if people rock with you, they rock with you, no matter what. If people really cared for you, they will support you through thick and thin. And, if you get a lot of pushback for just being yourself. And I'm not saying like be a bitch or an asshole or, if you have a shitty attitude, then, let that out or something. But sometimes you need to be assertive. Sometimes you need to be a little pushy just to get yourself out there, get your point across. Because, if you don't, then the world's gonna think that you're a doormat. And I feel like I've been a doormat all my life. There are days I'm not, and then there are days that I am. And it's just like, again, I keep fluctuating back and forth. I somewhat have this image of in my head, of who I want to be. I'm not sure what I want to do in my life, but I know for a fact I want to keep spreading positivity and kindness and joy, happiness, things that I look for and used to look for in people. It's not that I lost faith in people, but it's just, again, the people I surround myself with, I just seem to let them get the best of me. And it's not like, anyone's purposely hurting me, or it's not like there's a bunch of physical damage. I don't know how to explain it, but I just want to be able to not feel obligated to care about certain people's feelings when, if I were in a certain situation, they wouldn't care about mine, if that makes any sense. But I also am a caregiver, and I don't want to get rid of that personality trait because I love caring for people. But it's just when they take it, when they break those boundaries, when they say to hell with that. And so one thing I learned is from now on I have to start setting all my boundaries before I even talk to someone or meet someone, or even the people that I know. I have to let them know what is and isn't okay, how you should and shouldn't treat me. And if they're not okay with that, there's millions of people in this world, billions. Is it billions? I don't know. But there's a lot of people in this world, and someone's gonna be okay with it. As long as I'm respectful about it, then yeah. I cried a lot this week, and today I felt like a huge cloud was lifted. And I know shit goes down when Mercury's in retrograde. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is a bunch of bullshit, but it just always seems like some shit happens whenever Mercury's in retrograde. And so it's, I don't know, it's something I've noticed. But I did feel like a huge cloud kind of just lifted over me today. And I was like, no, I don't know exactly what to do about a lot of the situations that I'm in. because again, I kind of put myself in certain spots thinking that it's going to be a quick and easy fix. For example, I started a private Snapchat. And it's 2019, and people are exploring their sexuality, and it's something that I was interested in, and it did me good for a while, but then, like everything else, I wasn't consistent, and I didn't want to put enough work into it, and it flopped. And then now I'm just like, well, I kind of showed a vulnerable side of me to a bunch of strangers. At the same time, it's not that I care, but it's something that didn't really need to happen. Um, I know I was in a desperate position, but you know, and I don't regret it. I don't. I did what I had to do, but it was just another example of like impulsively jumping into something and then not committing to it like said I would. But anyway, the purpose of these video diaries is for me to look at myself, because I don't do that enough, or when I get ready for work every day, I just kind of, you know, get ready quickly and then run out like I'm always on the go. But I never take a time to actually, look at myself, look at what's happening to me in here, out here. I just stop caring, and it makes me feel bad when I go out in public. I feel horrible. Sometimes I feel like I don't belong. I mean, I always felt like I didn't belong, but I really feel like, God, like it looks so bummy, it looked terrible. Like I tear myself down a lot. And so I want to stop doing that. I used to spend so much time on myself, massaging my face, making sure like my feet were done, my nails were done, making sure that like my face looked good, my hair looked good, my body looked good. I took care of myself on the outside, and it helped me on the inside. And I just stopped because I have Deku's hair all over me, and I just, whatever. But I stopped for several reasons that I can't really put my fingers on right now. Like, I know, but at the same time, I just don't want to talk about it at the moment. But I should never, ever let anybody tell me how I should feel about myself and what I should do to take care of myself, and what I should and shouldn't do, or what I should and shouldn't care about. That was the biggest mistake of my life. And just from anyone, like a lot of people, like, just kind of get into my head sometimes, tell me, oh, why do you take so long in the bathroom? Because I want to look good. Why do you wake up so early? Because that's what I do, And so it just kind of eventually became a repeated thing that I'm just supposed to lay around and do nothing except for work, and then just play around my phone all day. And I wasted so much time by just wanting to live a regular life. And then I just saw that it wasn't getting me anywhere, nowhere at all. So now I'm just working. You know, I still lay in bed for the majority of the day, but when I go to work, I worked 6 days this week. I'm gonna try to work 7 days. And I know I need time for myself, but I also need to, like, bills are coming up, so I gotta make money. This was nice. You know, there's still a lot of things that I want to say, but I guess I'm also gonna try to continue journaling so I can put my thoughts down on a page, and then they can be, you know, in unison. When I do these videos, I can actually know what I want to talk about instead of just talking off the top of my head. But, you know, like when you do therapy, this is kind of what happens. You just sit down and talk and just keep on talking until you kind of don't have anything else to say, or until the session is over. Yeah. So I'm going to hold myself to this. I can do it. I also don't like looking at myself, because again, I feel like I let myself go a lot. But I need change, and I need to look at myself. So, there's hair everywhere. I need to clean. So I can make the right changes to my life. And I need to put this out there in a public area so I can feel like I'm doing something for me, instead of just having it sit on my phone, never looking back at it. It will at least show up on YouTube every now and then. Like when I go on my channel and mess around on it, I'll have these videos and it's something that I can look back on. So yeah, that's that for today. Again, I knew this is gonna be long, but again, it's for personal reasons. It's for me. And if it helps anyone else, then that's amazing. But I'm just tracking my progress and trying to put it out there. So I have no excuses. With that being said, I want to eat, but it's late, so I don't want to eat right before bed. God, this hair is somewhere. But I should eat.